Each week, in an attempt to address the issue of civility or lack thereof, in my own way, I address this issue by sending a little note to all of my colleagues in the House of Representatives. This is this week's missive. Long before the widespread use of cell phones, a man had a flat tire on an unlit and seldom traveled country road on his way to visit his parents in their small Texas town. Frustrated with himself for not checking the tires and for not buying a spare, he began to walk down the winding, dark road in search of help. At long last, he saw a farmhouse and, thinking they might allow him to use their phone to call AAA, he began walking toward the house. As the man who was stranded moved closer to the house, he began to wonder, what kind of family lived in the farmhouse? He thought to himself, they probably don't like people, or they would not live in a secluded place, he thought. He continued to walk and think, and then he thought deeply, when I knock on the door, they will think I'm a highwayman, so they won't answer the door. He walked a little further and thought, even if they let me in, they will probably not allow me to leave the front room because they will never trust me to go into another part of the house. Finally, he walked up to the porch, and there he thought, they will probably lie and tell me that they don't have a phone. The man of this house came to the door, and before he could say hello, the stranded motorist shouted, "You paranoid country bumpkin. I don't want to use your stinking phone anyway." Now, this story speaks to how in deeply political, tribal ways in which we live, especially here in Congress, we sometimes anticipate the worst about those who are of a different political affiliation. What a waste. How many friendships have been precluded by prejudging a person or a group based on possibly perceived political views? Too many of us prefer to burn bridges before we even get to them. Now, members of Congress do save a considerable amount of time by allowing party affiliation to form opinions of others instead of taking time to get to know a colleague. But what do we lose? Well, civility and cautious judgment of others are the insignia of statesmanship.